You know, one thing that the WHA NHL merge did for the 1980 playoff season was eliminate the disastrous and unfair best of three first round playoff series that the NHL still had in place for the 78-79 season. I'll give you a reason why. Vancouver, who was the lowest seed, played Philadelphia first round and almost knocked off the former two-time champions. And these two teams met in the best of three round, but they were quarterfinal squads, no doubt. But they had to play against each other, and it was disastrous for fans of the Buffalo Sabres, but happy for the fans of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, this Pittsburgh Penguins team did not have Pierre LaRouche. It wasn't like the same high-scoring offense like you had them in the 1970s. They were more like a defensive team. Now, this season, the Rangers made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final after winning in the prelim round. But this was the matchup that everybody wanted to see, but wanted to see in the quarterfinal round. Now, Pittsburgh ended the regular season with 85 points, while Buffalo at 88. 2 points behind the very strong Atlanta Flames. Now, if Atlanta would have played Pittsburgh first round, it would be completely different. Now, the series between Pittsburgh and Buffalo had a lot of deceptions and a lot of heroes. All three games were decided by 2 goals or less. Pittsburgh, in a big upset, won the opening game 4-3, with Buffalo taking the game 2 on the road back in the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Now, April 14th, this was what I call the George Ferguson night. Now, George Ferguson was a very competent player for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He found his way to Pittsburgh. But in this game, he became such a hero that they still talk about what he did in that game. Now, as it stood out, Buffalo was the better team defensively and offensively, and it showed where the French Connection line opened the scoring at 12:59 the first period, when Richard Martin and René Robert set up Gilbert Perreault. Now, the very, very durable and a very, very accomplished Jim Hamilton tied up the game from Greg Shepard at 13:04 of the first, before Craig Ramsey put Buffalo ahead again a second time to lead 2-1 after 1. Now, in the second, Peter Lee and Colin Campbell helped Jim Hamilton score his second goal to tie the game, but the very durable Jerry Korab from Rick Dudley responded 17:38 to lead 3-2 after 2 periods. But this is the third period played out. After some really, really strong play, Ferguson finally scored with 4:17 left. And let me tell you something, ladies, 4:17 gone. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The last of the third period was end-to-end, all kind of different chances. But in overtime, Ferguson at 47 seconds ended the series on a feed from Shepard, his second of the game. And of course, Colin Campbell, who had a great series with 4 assists in those 3 games. But George Ferguson, they still ask him what it was like beating Buffalo, and he had to say many times, he said, we entered the series hoping that we're going to have a chance, and sure it paid out. But Pittsburgh was a very strong defensive team that year. Yeah, Tommy Bladen, of course, and Ron Stackhouse. Colin Campbell was there, Bob Paradise and Randy Carlyle, so it was a mixture of veterans and established players. But, this is a team that was built up by Canadian draft picks. Peter Lee and Rodney Schutt was there. They had picked up Horace Kinderchuk. Again, they picked up Greg Shepard. Ross Lonsbury was playing. Ricky Kehoe was still there. Again, it was a mixture of talent and veterans and all that. And I would have loved to have seen this in a 7-game series. It was just a deception that either one of the teams would be, again, eliminated. And what was ironic of the playoffs that year, ladies and gentlemen, all 4 playoff series in the first round featured matchups for the first time between respective teams. Vancouver lost the Flyers 2-1. Rangers knocked off the Kings 2-0. Toronto swept the Flames 2-0. And of course, the big 4-3 win for Georgie Ferguson in that Game 3 against Buffalo. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were a Sabres fan in 1979, it must have been awful cool because such a good season. And if Buffalo would have made the quarterfinals that year, I know for a fact they would have shook up the playoffs. It could have been easily a Montreal-Buffalo final series. Buffalo was very strong that year, but it was just unfortunate because they shut down the French Connection line, and Pittsburgh was on a very underrated team that year. So that's the story of the great series between Buffalo and Pittsburgh in the 79 playoffs. If you like what we're doing, we're in a vintage NHL playoff coverage. Let us know with a like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks for listening. Bye.